Welcome in, everybody. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to crush the thumbs up button so I don't have to repeat myself every 10 minutes into this live stream. Drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live, like YC, my dear crypto brother from another mother here. Welcome in, YC. Before we get into the charts, I just want to say I hope everyone had a nice weekend. Everybody was chilling and relaxing, enjoying a little bit of time with the family. It was Mother's Day on Sunday. What is the best gift that you could give your mother on Mother's Day? Time. I was on the phone with my mom for 2.5 hours. I don't know how you can be on the phone with someone for 2.5 hours, but I was on the phone with my mom for 2.5 hours. Also, I did get her a Mother's Day gift, or gifts as I should say. Look for that in an upcoming CBG video. I will put my mom's Mother's Day gifts on display during an upcoming potential live stream. We'll see. I don't know about a live stream, but we'll see. I'm taking a trip home in a couple months here. So, but in all seriousness, Kathleen, are you a mother? If so, happy belated Mother's Day. Welcome in, and good afternoon. But I hope everyone had a good Mother's Day, good weekend, all that stuff. So let's get into it. I'm really anxious to get into the charts here and share some information with you here. As you can see, I'm very convicted on the idea of Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs this year. Just a quick little note before we get into the actual charts here. You know, I have been sort of advertising on my channel that I'm going to put out sort of a, I stick to technical analysis on this channel for the most part. I guess there's two announcements I want to make. First announcement is, I've been advertising this video. Yeah, great, you are a mother. Congratulations. That's nice to hear. So I've been advertising this video that I'm going to produce that is your bank is lying to you. And slowly but surely, I'm like a sponge. I just love absorbing material. And now that I've been, I have a lot more, I should say I have a lot more time to myself. Like I am always listening to podcasts and all sorts of different things that sort of the name of that video is sort of evolving into your bank and the Federal Reserve are lying to you. You really need to, the point of the video is you really need to rely on factual information and historical data to tell you about what's going on and what is likely to be coming in the next several months and years to follow, versus people that are paying lip service in a microphone. Now, the one thing I did want to share with you is kind of listening to something and it reiterated some concerns that I have, and I just want everyone to be mindful of moving forward. One of the greatest things that concerns me moving forward is personal income debt levels, credit card debt levels, and this idea that everything that you go to, everywhere where you go, it doesn't matter where. I just made an Instacart order. And Instacart actually allows you to do this. You can use a product called Affirm, and instead of paying for things up front, I had a $100 grocery order. Instead of paying up front, they can give you 4 equal installments over the next 6 months. Everybody is taking out credit because they can't afford what it is that they're purchasing. I want to implore you, and I mean this, there is no humor in what I'm saying. Now is the time to get your personal finances in order. Now, if you don't have your personal finances, get them in order. And this is not to scare you. This is just to be honest with you. Thumbs up, everyone. I see 10 people and 3 likes. The ratio is horrendous, 30%. The reason I say that is because, and we're going to get into it in the video that I'm sharing with you, but one thing I wanted to share with you today, unemployment is a lagging indicator of a recession. Unemployment is whatever they want to advertise right now, 3.5%. It is very probable, for reasons that I will explain later in the video, unemployment rates are going to be double digit as soon as by 2024. Double digit unemployment rates. What that means in layman's terms, if unemployment is 10%, for every 10 people that exist, 1 person doesn't have a job. Personal income debt levels are at astronomical levels, okay? Inflation is very high, okay? You don't want to go into the end of this year carrying a lot of debt. That's not the situation you want to be in. Make sure you have a safety net. Make sure you're being responsible about saving money, okay? And that you have a nest egg that you can go to. I know people firsthand who were personally impacted by getting laid off, people who thought they would never get laid off, okay? People are expendable. Any organization can let anyone go at a whim's notice. Things change, okay? They owe you nothing, and you owe them nothing, which is why you should always be open to looking for jobs. But I am imploring you that if you are in a situation where you're a little tight on money, go find a second hustle. Go find yourself a second job and start bringing in some extra money if you're really living paycheck to paycheck. Because in the environment we are in today and the harsh reality that I believe we will be facing in the years to come here, coming up, you can't be living paycheck to paycheck. You will not get by. Get your debt levels in order. Get your spending in order relative to your income levels. And do not fall prey to putting everything on credit, purchasing a $100 purchase, going on Amazon and purchasing a $50 order and say, oh, I'll just pay it over the next 6 months. It is a dangerous game to play. Zero credit card debt is the way to go. Zero Affirm debt levels, all that stuff. You want to wipe all that stuff out. You want to make sure you have enough income coming in, because I'm telling you, if you are in a situation where you get laid off, you better figure out, how long can I survive? Do I have enough income to support me for the next 3 to 4 months? 5 months, 6 months, whatever the right figure is that you determine. But it's something that you really need to start paying attention to and thinking about, really. The second thing that I wanted to hit you up on related to my channel is I am very excited because it seems like a possibility based on an initial text message that I had with my brother, that my brother and I, are, for those who have been with my channel for a long time, a little while ago, my brother and I used to be doing this channel called the Crypto Bros podcast. And it was a separate channel, and you could search for it, Crypto Bros with a Z at the end. And I have commented on this from time to time that it was the most enjoyable thing I did, because, I mean, I love just shooting the shit with my brother, and it was very real. Well, it sounds like, based on an initial conversation I had with him, that we are going to start that back up. I would like it to be a live stream. Knowing my brother's even more routine than I am. Probably will be on Thursdays is my best guess, based on when we've done it in the past. So that would mean on Thursdays, potentially, I would be going live to do the All in the Charts, and I would be coming live again in the evenings to do the Crypto Bros podcast. We're going to keep it on my channel. I just said, for simplicity, I've been establishing my channel. We're going to keep it on the CBG channel. But very excited. For those that don't know what the Crypto Bros podcast is, well, you'll find out shortly. But that should be something that I think everyone here would really enjoy if you give it an opportunity to tune in. And I'll definitely make sure to promote it quite a bit once we start up. Smash the thumbs up. Crush the thumbs up. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it. Let's get into the charts here. By the way, you can give me a follow on Twitter. You can give me a follow on YouTube. You can even find me on Instagram and TradingView. It's one word. It's Crypto Bull God. Let's get into some comments here. You think BTC will correct due to the BTC? No, YC. Come on. Now you know what is the title of this channel? Or not the title of the channel. What is the title of this live stream? All in the charts. I do not think the Bitcoin conference in Miami will have any impact on the charts. I think the charts are the charts. So no, I don't think that's going to do anything. It usually goes down after each conference. Well, I'll have to take a look at that. I don't know if that's true. That's probably coincidental. But like I said, getting into things here, we're going to focus on actually the 12-hour first before we go into the weekly. But one of the things that I had stated was that, given some of the sell-offs we saw last week, the downturn in the market, the consolidation, the correction, whatever you want to call it, I was anticipating this week in particular we'd get a little bit of a relief rally. That's not saying Bitcoin's going to 30,000, but when I say a relief rally, maybe this week, in totality for the week, maybe Bitcoin's up 7.5%. You got your altcoins up 7.5% for the week. Some of them up 15, 25%, wherever the case is. But I am anticipating this week that we're going to see a little bit of a relief rally in the market because we've been in this downturn now for a while. A lot of these alts have corrected. And a lot of them I've pointed out in prior last week, a lot of these altcoins have made double bottoms in relationship to the higher lows that they hit in March of this year. So I am anticipating some form of a relief rally to continue to ensue this week. That bonus that I'm getting this week, that's going to be paid out on Friday. So I'm going to kind of assess the markets at that point and make a determination in terms of how much of that capital I want to put into the market on Friday and how much of it I'm just going to hold on to and wait for the coming week. It really is a byproduct of how much a lot of these altcoins start to run back up. So like a great example would be Alchemy Pay. I do plan to put a chunk into Alchemy Pay. You know, if I see Alchemy Pay up towards like 3.1 cents, 3 cents on Friday, I'm not going to be buying it. I'm going to wait for a pullback. So it really is just going to be contingent on the prices of these projects coming up on Friday. I would say actually the way that I'm leaning right now for a little bit of an update on some of the input that I wanted to get from you guys, I put out a poll. Where should I put the significant amount of my capital? What's your opinion? Which project should I put it into? And I put 4 out there. In order of preference in terms of the amount of capital I'm looking to put into projects, I would say I'm looking at 4 right now. And in order of how much capital I'm looking to put in, it's Alchemy Pay, followed by Casper, followed by A0 actually, which we're going to get into, followed by, what was the fourth? Oh, Flux is the fourth one. So those are the 4 I'm looking at. Injective I'm not considering at the moment. What's up, Jorge? Injective I'm not considering for the moment because I still, I tweeted this out, something we can take a look at later in the week, but Injective Protocol is one that I still feel is overbought. I still would wait for something in the low 5s and as low as 440. The more I look at the charts, and maybe we'll take a look at it tomorrow, Injective Protocol, to me, there seems to be a lot of price confluence right around 440. So it would not surprise me one bit to see a bit of a relief rally in Injective this week, ultimately form a lower high, and then retrace to some level closer to 440. There, I would be a big buyer, but we'll have to be patient and await to see what unfolds in the charts. Now, this is Bitcoin on the 12-hour. You know the statistical significance of Bitcoin on the 12-hour. I've pointed this out many times. You can see we did exactly what I said was very probabilistic for this chart. We came down, we touched this chart, we went a little bit below it, which I spoke to, and we have since quickly recovered. I mean, have I not been speaking to this historical fact on this chart for quite some time now? You can see we did it here, and so far we've done it here. Now, I'm not saying we can't come back down here. I'm not saying that. But I will tell you what I'm not leaning towards, okay? Again, in the short term, let me restate that. If this were to occur, this does not break anything with the long-term trend, okay? But we could come down here, and we could come down to 25 or 24 or 23. Yeah, that's absolutely a possibility. Nothing unhealthy about that because you still have higher lows, right? But I think the higher low at 25,800 has been established. I do not think we're going to go lower than 25,800. Okay, that is my best educated guess. I think we came down here, we tapped here. Could we potentially come back down here at 26,400 or 500? Absolutely. But I think 25,800 was it. I do not think that Bitcoin's going to be going below 25,800. Am I not the same person who on record was saying everyone wanted the $25,000 area and it wasn't coming? If we saw $25,000, I said, we would get a quick wick below the 200 SMA on the 12-hour. That's exactly what has happened so far. This is playing out textbook to what I have spoken to, and I continue to anticipate it's going to play out similarly. Now, you can also see on this 12-hour, what we have here is we have some descending resistance. Ultimately, what's going to convince me there's a higher likelihood we're going to break 31,000 sooner rather than later is we come up here and break this descending resistance and hold it as support. Then I anticipate that it'll be relatively short order until we begin moving up. Let's take a look at the RSI real quick on the 12-hour. You can still see we want to start breaking this negative divergence. The other thing that's important to point out on the 12-hour chart, some historical significance here as well, historical statistical significance here as well. One of the things I've spoken to is the point in time we are at today is very similar to late September 2020. We're going to look at a chart in a moment here that kind of points to another chart that it speaks to that. One of the things I pointed out is that history rhymes, doesn't repeat, but it often likes to rhyme. Well, in September 20, once we had a flush out similar to here, the RSI held this 30 line. Now, we did dip here. We dipped down to 25.5, okay? But we since have sharply recovered. That was on this 25.8 thousand wick. I don't suspect that if history plays out similarly, you're going to see the RSI go much below 30 moving forward into all-time highs that I anticipate we're going to see later this year. Now, when we get into the weekly, you can see the most important thing that I pointed out on this chart is what we were able to accomplish this week on the weekly close Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can see that while we wicked below the 200 SMA, okay, on the weekly, we held above it. That's the most bullish thing because, again, I've reiterated countless times on this channel, when we are above a moving average, it tends to act as support. When we are below a moving average, it tends to act as resistance. So very good to see that since we have moved above the 200 SMA, we have stayed above the 200 SMA. The other thing that I pointed out was that this 200 SMA, and it's not always the case, but it just so happens the case that the 200 SMA, roughly the price here, around 26,000, it lined up with the 200 SMA on the 12 hour. So there was a lot of price confluence around that $26,000 area. I was trying to get you guys to see and think about that, hey, we're probably not going to come down to $25,000 and hang out there and continue moving up. Everybody was expecting that, okay? And that so far has what has played out. The other thing I wanted to point to, and this gets to the September 2020 reference, okay, that we're at a similar point in time. This is the ADXDI on the price indicator view here with the green and blue lines, and this is the Williams alligator. We've spoken about this plenty of times. You can see the green is above the red is above the blue, right? We've gotten the positive cross. If we go back in time, the last time we got a positive cross in 2020, you can see in September of 2020, look what we did, okay? We rode this green line for a bit. You see how we rode the green line? But once we cleared that green line, we started to take off. Look what we have done right now. We've come down to the green line. Now, we haven't touched the green line. But it is very possible that we could do something similar, and we could kind of maybe hang out down here for a couple weeks, around 27,000, and then just begin to take off around that June timeframe, okay, and really start to break $30,000. Keep an eye on it. Again, I am in the camp that this is not 2019. This is not a 4-year cycle having everyone wants to see the same thing that has played out from the past before. No, guys. You have to evaluate all of the charts to make an informed decision, okay? And all of the charts have been telling me more convincingly that we're going to set a new all-time high this year, okay? I commented that I put a 6-month margin on that. So, we could bleed into the first half of next year if I'm off on timing, but my primary hypothesis has been this year, right? So if we follow something similar to what we did in the past in this wave 3 movement here, I've described this as the wave 3 and the Elliott wave. If we did this in a similar time fashion for wave 5, we would be topping by the end of this year, which is very hard to fathom right now. I understand that's very hard to fathom, but no one saw this coming either back in 2020 and 21, so keep that in mind. See what questions we got in here. DCF, A0 is a great project, should allocate a good amount into it. Well, we're going to take a look at A0. I know that Nick, Ncash official, he is very big on A0. He was the one that, similar to Casper, himself and the community that follows him that have showed up for a live stream, or 2 or 3 or 4, they are the ones that had me looking at that project, similar to Casper. Okay, I'm in Casper. I am in A0. I own a very small amount of A0, very small amount. I own a moderate more in Casper. But I am looking to increase both position sizes, as I indicated, more so Casper than A0, but we'll take a look in a moment. Can you give a DSLA update if you can, please? If not, now maybe, or on your Twitter account later. DSLA, can you clarify, please, Kathleen? I'd be happy to take a look at it. I'm just not clear on what project that is. DSLA. Not Did you get the ticker symbol right on that? If so, I'll look it up. I'm not familiar with that. So DCF thinks that A0 could be the next Solana. I mean, that would be quite nice for those invested in it. Ethereum weekly. What did I say for Ethereum on the weekly? We wanted to see the week close out above 1,800. Okay, at 1,800 or above, and look what we did. We wicked below this green line, but we managed to close above 1,800, which is very good to see. We have to be patient, guys. I'm here to tell you what I'm seeing in the charts, and also to remind you to be very diligent and patient, okay? I say very routinely on this channel that unless if something material changes in the chart, okay, with your investment outlook on a project, unless if something in the chart changes, there's no reason that your investment philosophy should change. Okay, sometimes things just end up taking longer than we anticipate. They don't, sometimes they take shorter than we anticipate, but a lot of times, timing is a very difficult thing, right? And I think especially, and I can relate to this, when you're very convicted in a project or you're very convicted in the space, there's this emotional side to you that just wants to see it play out so badly, and you just know it and you feel it. You got to put that aside. You have to put that aside no matter how much passion you have for something, and just unemotionally look at the chart and allow it to tell you and allow it to show you what's going on. And right now, Ethereum's just consolidating between 2,200 and 1,800. We're just waiting for the next leg up to press up towards 2,800. Remember, similar to Bitcoin, once we started again, look at the recovery from the beer virus. Once we got out of this V-shaped recovery, look what happened. Stair step, stair step, stair step, stair step, and then we went on this parabolic journey. We go back to Bitcoin, okay? It was the same thing. If you go back in time, you just had to have patience. V-shaped recovery, stair step, and then a parabolic journey, okay? Just keep in mind that when this market starts to move, it starts to move very fast. Matic, one of the things that another thing I tweeted out, I think it was this morning. It was either this morning or it was yesterday. Might have been this morning because I was trying to relax and actually just watch a movie. Pretty good movie. It was decent. For those that have Netflix, I'm sure most of you do. Check out the movie... what the hell's her name now? I can't remember. Jennifer Aniston. No, Jennifer Lopez. J-Lo. She just came out in a new movie. It's called Mother. It was pretty good. It was good. Had some good scenes. If you like a good action film, I think it's worth watching. It's not like it wasn't a stellar movie or anything like that. But it was solid. Like, it's worth a watch, So I was watching that, and I also was watching... Unfortunately, the 76ers getting manhandled by the Boston Celtics. What a shit show that was. I tuned up. I think there was like 5 or 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and I turned the game off. But anyway, what I had commented on with Polygon Matic is, for those unfamiliar, one of the things I tweeted out, there are 2 current investments that I am planning to hodl and not sell. Okay, and it's sort of like the way I view it is a supplemental retirement account. Okay, I have my retirement accounts, and then these 2 investments are sort of going to supplement that. Okay, so while the market is topping, when I believe the market is topping this year, some of those alts going into next year as they're topping, I'm going to be selling. Okay, that's what I plan on doing. But Polygon, Matic, and Bitcoin, my Bitcoin position for this retirement account, I'm not selling. I'm just going to hold on to it. And what I'm doing for Bitcoin is every day I'm purchasing a set amount. Well, I've pre-purchased, because prices have been so low, I've tweeted this out, I've pre-purchased all the way up to like August, all right, because prices are just so advantageously low. Matic, I'm making a weekly purchase. Every week, it's X dollars, okay, and it's on a Tuesday, every Tuesday of the week. Prices are so low right now on Matic, and I think we have the potential to astronomically run. I believe I had tweeted out, I tweeted out last year that I saw Matic breaking into the top 10. Check mark, that happened. Now I'm getting even more, I'm throwing something out there even more aggressive and saying, I believe I said Matic will break into the top 5, okay? So in order for Matic to really break into the top 5, it's going to have to make some massive moves. Well, every week I am purchasing a set amount. prices are so low, okay, I've already prepaid that weekly payment up until I think July. I'm going to fund that weekly purchase all the way until the end of the year. I'm contemplating because you're not going to be looking at an 86-cent Matic by December of this year. I find that highly unlikely. I think prices will be significantly higher. So I am considering pre-purchasing the entire year because you're not going to get lower prices than this. Look what we're doing on Polygon Matic, guys. You got to be patient. Higher highs and higher lows. I don't need to run through it with you right now, okay? I am waiting for once the market really starts moving here, and I would anticipate by June, once we really start to move, Matic's going to be pressing up against $2 and $2.50. It's going to I'm telling you this, look how quickly, once we bottomed here at 32 cents, we made a move all the way up to $1 in a span of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, okay, in 2 months. So market moves quick, guys. Market moves quick. XRP, wanted to give a quick update on this on the weekly. Right now, one of the things that's nice to see is you can see the 50 has flattened out, this purple line. We want to make a cross above the 200. You can also see there's a nice general uptrend here on the market. Even though XRP has been an underperformer relative to the market, it is good to see the symmetry in the price here. You can see the touches on this uptrending line. I mean, it has not failed yet. So very good to see. And let's take a look at the price indicators. We haven't really been focused as much on the price indicators. I feel like I update you guys as a lot on the price indicators, and I just wanted to focus more on price action. But let's take a look here. Nothing too crazy going on with the price indicators. RSI has been steadily increasing in value. This is very good to see. You can see steadily increasing in value, strength building in the price. As also, price has been moving up, so that is very good to see. So, yeah, I mean, for XRP, really what you want to look for, and I actually tweeted out today, I'm sort of surprised. I have to look at what the expectations were for the relative timing on when the court decision for the SEC Ripple lawsuit was estimated to come out. But we're sitting here in the middle of May, and we haven't heard anything yet, which I was a little surprised by. I thought the time frame, and I'll have to go back and take a look. I thought the time frame or the expectation was like March, May time frame, but I could be wrong. So I was a little surprised that we haven't heard anything. But I'll have to revisit what the timing. I would suspect that at some point soon we're going to hear what the outcome of that case was. But in any event, let's break back above the 200 SMA. That's 50 cents. Once we start breaking 50, I have everything lined up here between 57 cents and basically $1. Of course, there is the other thing I'd point out on XRP. The other thing that's going to express strength, you can see the descending area of resistance here in here, right? So we want to break above this area here. It's really going to be $1. Once we start breaking above $1, we can start to get a little bit more excited about XRP. Cardano, I have to give some props to Cardano. Drop me a comment here. Are there any Cardano supporters on the live stream? So I am not a supporter of the project. But I will say that the market structure and what we're seeing on this chart would make me excited as a Cardano holder. This is another one I take a look at it, and I actually thought to myself before the live stream, maybe I should own some Cardano. I don't think I'm going to purchase any, but chart's setting up nice, and I'll tell you why. The relative back test here that we've seen, not really too much of a drop in price. It's been pretty steady since we broke this downward resistance. Yes, we broke below 40 cents, but we held this 35 cent area. We're just kind of hanging out here. I think this one could be an earlier mover where we start to break out above 45 cents and start to break out towards this 57, 60 cent range here. Keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at the price indicators. You can see the MACD is really close on the weekly here to breaking out above 0. Stochastic RSI is hanging out above 20. It has a negative cross, but it's hanging out above 20, which is really good to see. RSI is at a pretty healthy level, just below 50 at 47. So Cardano's setting up here nicely. Again, I'm just looking at the market symmetry. And again, this was, again, remaining unemotional about it. Okay, I know there's a lot of heat between the XRP community and the Cardano community. I've been a much stronger supporter of XRP than Cardano. But when you look at things from just a TA perspective, Cardano's been the clear outperformer. So far, Cardano has outperformed XRP in terms of its rate of appreciation since its market cycle top in 2018 versus 2021, right? I mean, look at this thing. It topped out at 326, and here was 140, so more than a 2x. XRP still hasn't cleared the 350, 380 zone. So Cardano's looking real nice here. Let's take a look at the graph. You guys know I own a chunk of the graph. I had pointed out that I purchased a chunk in my retirement portfolio at Bitcoin IRA. You can see right now, we've started the week with a real strong bounce here. What were we up, like 8.5%? We're up 11% on the graph today. Real strong bounce. Very good to see. So we've bounced off this 11.5 cent area, okay? Now what we want to do, if this week, this is what I would look for on the graph. If we can close the week on the graph, GRT, above this 13.3 cent area, very bullish. Very bullish. If we can get a close up in this area, what that increases the likelihood of is maybe we get a consolidation week, okay? But we're going to start breaking this area. Really, we're going to start testing 17 cents soon and on our way to this golden pocket that I have between 35 and 56 cents. Graph is starting the week very strong. I would keep an eye on it. Now, this is a new project we've never taken a look at. This is ticker symbol UFO. Is anybody out there way back in the day? This is going to date me. This will probably tell you to some degree how old I am. I know I look like I'm 25, but the fact is I am far from 25. 25 was a very long time ago. Bless this old man at the gym. This old man that I was talking to at the gym literally thought I was 25 years old. I was like, man, your eyesight must be going. I do not look like I'm 25. I'll take like 33, 32. I'll take 33, 32, but I do not look like I'm 25. Back in the day, in the 90s, I was a huge X-Files fan, huge. And so when I see UFO, that's what it reminds me of. I was a UFO guy. I was always talking. I did a research paper in English class on UFOs. So anyway, this is a gaming play. I just wanted to look at a new chart. I think I saw this one trending, and that's why I charted it. This is a really interesting setup. Because you can see, and I'll tell you why. We have downward resistance here, okay? And now we've sort of found this base. Now we've respected the base. I'm bullish on this to the extent that this base around, you can see actually what I've done here for your benefit, because the USD value is so low, it's like 0.00001. I've multiplied the USD value by 10,000 just so there's less decimals, right? So right now we're sitting at about, we basically, what I'm trying to say is, as long as this level holds, this level is right around, damn it, let me get on the right spot here. The 0.1, okay, 0.01. Now, you have to take the 0.01 and divide it by 10,000. So I guess it's like 0.0000001. But the point is, as long as this 0.1 holds, I'm very bullish, because now we have found a base in here, and look what we've done. We've double bottomed. We've double bottomed from our bottom in November. We looked at a few charts last week where a lot of these altcoins were double bottoming in either November or March. Okay, UFO is one where it's double bottomed here. When the market really starts to take off, the other attractive thing about this is very low market capitalization value. Very low market cap. Okay, I do not own any of this. Okay, full disclosure, don't own any. Not looking to establish a position because I don't want to become too spread out amongst too many projects. I've explained to you, I think something I've tried to make a conservative effort in doing is consolidating some positions to hold less assets. I felt like I was too diversified. So I'm not going to establish a position in UFO. I'm simply pointing it out to you. But what I'm trying to say is, because this thing can really move, it's a low market capitalization value, and we found this base in here. When the market really begins to move and we break this descending resistance, I think we could really shoot up in value. And then you'd probably see something where you consolidate like this, right? And then continue moving up. This thing could easily shoot massively up in value because there isn't a lot of it won't take a lot of liquidity to move it. Now, if you remember what I have said repeatedly on this channel, you can play this a couple different ways. You could get in right now in an area right here, or you can wait for the breakout. Now, if you wait for the breakout, you can either start buying in this area as we start to break above the descending resistance, or if you miss it, wait for the back test, right? Because commonly we like to back test these prior areas of descending resistance and treat them then as support before we continue moving higher. Keep an eye on UFO. A0, I love this chart. I love this chart, okay? I'm not drawing out all the areas of resistance and support here, but what I'm showing is we are in a clear uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. I love this chart, and I think the value where I'm not waiting on this thing. If we are anywhere near $1.20 on Friday, I'm pulling the trigger. I don't need to wait for $1.10 or $1.14 or no. I'm not. See, what I understand from being in this market for as long as I have been in it is, am I really going to fret? This is just me. You got to answer this for yourself, okay? I'm not purchasing $100,000 of A0. You know, maybe I purchase a couple $1,000s, just a couple $1,000s, okay? So for me, that a couple $1,000, let's just leave it at that. Let's say $2,000, all right? So if I purchase $2,000 of A0 for me, am I really going to fret over $1.20 or $1.15? Now, what I'm doing, in my opinion, is getting too cute with the market. Unless if I think there's an opportunity to go massively lower, I'm just going to put my $2,000 at $1.20 and not wait for $1.15 because I know how quickly this market moves. But based on your own buy-sell strategy and your risk tolerance levels, if you want to put a half in here and you want to wait to see if we come to back test $1.10 or $1.15, hey, I think that's very smart. I'm not saying that isn't a smart approach. I've just seen this market take off before, and I'm not going to fret over 5 or 10% with a real small, what for me is a really small position of $2,000, say, okay? So this thing is in a general uptrend. It looks beautiful. We are not far. We are not far from $3 from where we're at. This thing can move quickly based on it also being a smaller market capitalization sort of project. Stochastic RSI is below 20. We need to see this thing pick up momentum and start to get above 20 on the stochastic RSI. You can see we've gotten across down on the MACD. We want to see it flatten out and begin to curl up. RSI is actually at a decent level at 48. Again, we rode this thing all the way up to $1.95. All right, and we corrected all the way down to, we had basically a 50% correction in this thing. So we just have to be patient, I think it's very possible. If you're looking to get an entry on this, I do think it's very probable, actually, we're going to come back down into this area where I would look. Let's look at some price wicks. Let's look at some price confluence. You can see if you're looking to establish a position, and again, for me, as long as we're around $1.20, I'll just be buying. I'm not going to wait. But for me, or for you guys, if you want to establish some clear areas of support, potential support, where we could see prices wick down to, I would say anything between and I'd move it up to this wick. I'd say anything between $1.17 and $1.07. $1.17 and $1.07. But again, I'm not going to get too cute with it just based on the size of the position I'm looking to open, and not interested. DYP is a project that I own a small amount of. Again, this is a smaller holding for me, similar to what A0 will be. Fundamentally, I really don't know a lot about the project. I've shared this with you guys. I just like the chart setup. You can see we've broken the downward resistance. Since we've broken this downward resistance, we're chopping around in here. Lower market cap, it has the opportunity to potentially run hard because it doesn't take a lot of liquidity to move the market, or it doesn't take a lot of liquidity to move this project. Keep in mind also, I'm going to stop talking here in a moment and get to your questions, a rising tide lifts all boats. Again, this is why we need Bitcoin and Ethereum to do well. The extent, to the magnitude, to the extent they do really well and even outpace expectations, the more liquidity and excitement and exuberance and FOMO will exist for the rest of this market, the more opportunity there is to really push things like this higher, okay? We're consolidating in here. And I love the setup in here. I've made 2 purchase orders that I commented on Twitter. I told you where I bought at. And I'm happy just holding this thing. You can see with the rest of the market, we're losing momentum in the price indicators, very consistent with the rest of the market. So we're just chipping and chopping around here. But once we really start breaking out above really 38 cents and 55 cents, this thing has the opportunity to really start running up towards $1. Once we break 55 cents, there's a strong probability. We could put another area of resistance here, though. Strong probability once we break 55 cents with volume, we're going to run all the way up to $1, or at least very close to it, because $1 is a psychological level. Maybe we run up to 99 cents or 98 cents. Okay, you'll see that a lot on charts. When you study charts, as long as I have been studying charts, what you see is psychological areas and prior areas of price confluence playing out such that smart traders and smart investors and TA people, they know, for example, that $1 is a psychological level. They're not selling at $1 if they're looking to trade it. They're not saying, okay, well, $1 is my exit point, so let me just put in a sell limit order for $1. No, they're putting in a sell limit order for 97 cents or 96 cents or 98 cents, okay? That's what they're doing. They're trying to front run the market. They're trying to front run the sell pressure that's going to come in, likely come in. All right, let's see what questions we have today. Oh, I had a question earlier. That's right. Sorry. Kathleen, you had a question. I wanted to get to that. Not as worried about time today. You can see we're running a little over today, just not super worried about that. I'll stay more on point tomorrow. I will get to everyone's questions. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to chart everything, though. DSLA. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I don't think we've taken a look at it, but you're going to keep me honest on that statement. Nah, we haven't charted this before. I didn't think so. DSLA protocol. 775. So this is a smaller market cap project. Any major exchanges? No major exchanges. All right, let's take a look at this. Decent chart set up. Okay, I like what I see. Now, this is on a weekly. I'm going to stay higher time frame. Thank you for the question, Kathleen. This is ticker symbol DSLAI. Wow, what? I'm just making shit up on the spot now. That's ticker symbol A, B, C, D, E, F. That's ticker symbol DSLA. This is a smaller market cap. It's ranked 775. So definitely doesn't take a lot of liquidity to move the price. By the way, for everyone new tuning in, make sure at some point today you go back to the top of the live stream. I shared a couple thoughts on a few things that I think would be important for you to hear me out on. So it's for your own benefit. It's up to you if you want to go back and listen to the beginning. It's only a few minutes, but in my opinion, it's up, to your benefit to do so. Things to fundamentally keep in mind moving forward, so that you are well positioned for a potential very harsh reality coming by the end of this year or early next year, in my opinion. All right. These are, some nice round areas of price confluence. Again, Kathleen, I like to round things. I like to make them stupid simple. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Okay. And we're going to do this. Now, the first question I typically ask myself when I'm evaluating a chart is, besides what the market symmetry looks like. So I appreciate this question because it's something I have never charted before, and it also presents some good market symmetry. I like what I see here. So this has a nice rounding bottom, and you can see we shot up in value. Just to give you some level of appreciation here, we shot up in value roughly, we did a 10x, okay? We did a 10x from the low. So you know, when you run up this much in value, this is what people really who don't read charts need to understand. When you run, it's the same thing for injective protocol, okay? And I gotta love the trolls. You should see some of the comments on the YouTube video. There was some douchebag who replied to my video and clearly did not watch the video and said, this guy literally released this video at the top. Yeah, well, I released it at the top of the move, but if you actually listen to my commentary, I clearly spelled out that a correction was most likely coming to where we've actually corrected to. So it's funny how people won't actually watch a video, but will take the time to comment on a video. That is astonishing. Anyway, whenever you get a massive move up in price like this, things need to cool off. You don't know if it's going to do an 8x or a 5x or a 10x, but once we start to correct, it's healthy, okay? It's the only time this wouldn't be healthy is if we did this. If we went up like this, and then we came back down like this, okay, now we've created a new lower low. That's not healthy. But even if we go up like this and we come down like this, that's still a higher low. Now, the higher, let me say this and follow what I'm saying. The higher low is, the greater degree of strength that is expressed within the chart. So meaning I've identified an area here between 0.0012 and 0.0017. If we maintain ourselves above 0.0017, that's a higher degree of strength in the chart than going all the way down to 0.0012. But this is the zone of support I would want to see hold. Now, where are we going to run into some problem spots? I would have drawn an area right around there. But you can see that we actually sort of, based on price action, I would draw it right about there. So the first zone of resistance is going to be this swing high here. It's right around 0.0035 to 0.0042. Okay, this is where we're going to run into our first problem spot. Once we clear that problem spot, where can we anticipate for there to be further problem spots in areas of price confluence? This is the zone I would focus on next. 0.0055 and 0.007. 0.0055, 0.007. I hope you found that helpful, Kathleen. I don't know, Kathleen, if I'm going to be able to, looking at time, I'm not going to unfortunately be able to get to both of those projects today. But please, if you join tomorrow, I promise to get to at least one of them, if not both, depending how many questions there are tomorrow. I don't have the time to get to both today, but I do appreciate you asking. DCF, do a phantom chart and bull run peak target. Thanks. I don't know bull run peak target. Keep in mind anything I chart out is on the spot. So in terms of targets, a little hesitant with that because I really like to take my time on things like that. So phantom, I know we have targeted phantom before. My apologies. Yeah, I went to bed early last night and I woke up at like 3:13 in the morning. You're welcome, Kathleen. I woke up at like 3:13. No, clearly that number was very... I'm a numbers person. I remember what time I woke. 3:13 I woke up and I could just not fall asleep. And then I fell asleep eventually and started dreaming about weird shit. I had some weird-ass dreams last night. Shit that just does not make sense. Well, we already evaluated this, so what do I want to update on this? This is a weekly. By the way, DCF, I appreciate the question. You can see we have some downward resistance. How I would choose to draw this would be like this because there's more price confluence. Let me explain what I mean. God damn it. Come on. Yeah, so you can see wick, 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 wick. So I prefer to draw the downward resistance like this. Really here what we want to do is we want to get above Inside joke. Me sniffing. I want to get above 57 cents. There's really a zone here I would identify between 57 and 65.5 cents. Let's clear that area. We have to turn this into resistance. We've gone down here. But you can see we're right in this zone right now. We're chipping and chopping away here. We're down here. Between 35. I just don't want to see 35 break. That's the only thing I don't want to see break. Ultimately, you don't want to see this. I mean, if you had to ask me what's your, like, real target, it's this area here where we wicked below. Do not break 30 cents. Okay, Phantom, I do not want to see it break 30 cents because then what you're doing is you're inviting going much lower. So maintain 30 cents, okay? But really 35 cents is what I'm looking at. We're going to run into problems as we start to come up against this. Cassius, what's up, my brother? My crypto brother from another mother. Smash the thumbs up button, people. Crush it. Like it. Come on. It's this descending resistance here and then this zone here between 65.5 and 57. Now, I'm being asked to price project out for this bull market. And what I would say, evaluating the chart, and this is on a whims notice or quick evaluation. When was this? November of 21, and this is actually 22. Okay, the way I would draw this out, on a quick glance, you want to see how CBG would draw out a target? It's a good question. This is the capitulation from March of 20. I might remove some of that volatility, kind of draw it in an area where I have 2 wicks, so draw from maybe the base there, all the way up to the top here, all the way to the bottom here. Now, extensions, common extensions that I would be looking for, maybe remove some of this. You know what I would do to be conservative, personally? I wouldn't even go to the top. Well, you can go to the top of the wick here. Be a little bit more conservative. Maybe I go to where there's more touches, right around there, where there's a touch here, a touch almost here, and a touch here. I'd be a little bit more conservative. And then what I would do is look at the trend-based fib extensions, as they are called, and I would focus between the 2 and the 5. So anywhere, and this really expresses to you the level of volatility that is inherent in this market. Really what this chart is telling me, if a trend-based fib extension pans out, being a little bit more conservative with where we could see things going based on where I have this projected at the top here, anywhere between 870 all the way up to 1850. Now, if we want to be more aggressive and say, well, I want you to look at it from the top here, the top is right about there. So really you'd be looking at 9.5 all the way up to 20 bucks. So that gives you an idea. And based on the fact of where we topped at 370, you know, it wouldn't be uncommon. Let me put that back here for a moment. We topped at 370, just logically thinking about this. You know, if we drew it more like that, yeah, I think something around 12 bucks, around this 3.618 is possible. I think that's possible. Now, what market cap size is this? Good question, by the way, DCF. What market cap size is this? 43rd. We're sitting at 38 cents. Yeah, I think something up towards $12 is very possible. I think something between 9 and 12. You know, some of this, in my view, okay, some of these trend-based fib extensions are going to come down to how much money is flowing into this market. Again, how much hype is there? How much FOMO? Where did Bitcoin top? Where did Ethereum top? That really is going to be a leading indicator to tell us how aggressive or how conservative we should be with some of these projections. Okay, we'll spend more time looking at this the closer we get to a cyclical top. I'm going to be transparent with you guys as it looks like. Sorry, my nose is getting stuffed up. I need to get some allergy medication. I'm actually out. I will be very transparent with you, as transparent as I can in terms of where I see things going the closer we get to a cyclical top. Very good question. Let's see what else we got here. I'm getting some good questions here, and they're related. Sorry, Jorge, I missed your comment. Anything over what? I don't know what that's in relation to. But you did ask a good question here. So Jorge has the question to you, what is a good size bag on Casper and XRP? Kevin asks a related question, is 10,000 enough Phantom? Okay, 10,000 would imply Kevin holds 3,000. What's the price right now for Phantom? 39 cents? So Kevin holds roughly $3,800 of Phantom. He has 10,000 tokens, okay? My answer is subjective. I can't tell you what a big enough bag to hold is. Like, let's look at XRP, right? Based on, oh man, I'm a numbers person. So based on your standards of living, based on your financial income, based on how much you're investing in the market, based on your risk tolerance levels, based on your diversification approach, 100,000 XRP to you may be a lot. 10,000 XRP to you may be a lot. 1 million XRP to you may be a lot. Really depends on a lot of things, right? Somebody who's living paycheck to paycheck and is really just trying to scrounge up some extra cash to throw into crypto will have a much different perspective than someone who's bringing in $200,000 a year and is doing very well for themselves, right? So you're going to have different perspectives, and it's also a byproduct again of your risk tolerance levels, your investment strategy. How much do you have invested in the market? It's very subjective. It's a good question, but it's hard to answer. Yeah, so Kathleen, come back for your questions tomorrow. Guys, I appreciate the input today. We're going close to an hour. I want to kind of tie things up. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I anticipate tomorrow I'm going to go live around the same time. I have to check my work schedule to make sure. One thing I did also want to say is I went live on Friday at around 11:30. And I got to tell you, I really liked going live at that time. So the degree to, if my schedule allows for it, I can take an early break during the day and I can go live 11:30 during the day, like right before like typical lunchtime on the East Coast. I will do that on Fridays, and I may look to do that some other days as well moving forward. So just make sure you got to click the bell icon to know when I go live. Of course, you can catch this in syndication, but if you want to catch live and interact with me, I really like that 11:30 time. I think someday when I am in a position to do this more freely and I'm not constrained by a 9 to 5 schedule, I think 11 to 11:30 works well for me. I think I might look to do that on a more permanent basis. I really like that time frame, but just wanted to make you guys aware, at least moving forward this week, there could be a different time that I go live, especially on Friday. So that's it. I'm signing out. So guys, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will catch you hopefully here tomorrow. All right, take care. Or as I always say, until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward. Right, guys, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.